Welcome back to my YouTube video. Taking those fucking headphones off. Today I'm going over the UFC 324 Paramount card, not pay-per-view anymore. We're going into Paramount now in the new year. I'll be going over every fight starting in the early prelims up to the main event, giving my picks and predictions, and then I'll be making a part 2 probably over how well I did and what actually happened. Starting off with the first fight of the card, Ricky Turcois versus Cameron Smotherman. I'm going Cameron Smotherman via decision. I haven't really seen much of Ricky. I've seen more Cameron. They have basically the same amount of fights. Cameron's younger. I think he's better. I've seen more of him. I can't really go off of what Ricky's done. I haven't really seen much of Ricky. I actually don't know who the fuck this guy is. Is this his debut? I would probably assume so. I've never seen this guy. But I have seen a few Cameron Smotherman fights. I'm going to go Cameron Smotherman via decision. Denzel Freeman versus Josh Hockett. This is going to be a decent fight. I think it's going to be a decision. Denzel just made his UFC debut. He's a veteran, I'm pretty sure. He just made his debut in his last fight, which was a couple months ago. And it was a kind of lackluster decision win. And that's kind of what I see this fight being, is a lackluster decision win for Denzel Freeman. I know Josh Hockett is undefeated, and he's a undefeated prospect in the heavyweight division. Denzel Freeman's not a Marine, veteran. He's got that grit. He's got that heart. And I got him winning this. Like, look at this reach advantage. 4 inches, same height. 4.5 inches of reach advantage at the same height is insane. I'm going to go with Denzel Freeman. And it's a 30 pounds heavier, 4.5 inch reach advantage, same height. I think he's going to get it done. Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. I'm going to go Alex Perez. Alex Perez has been around for a minute, since 2017 actually. And he's fought in some great opponents. And I don't think anybody that has beat Alex Perez is worse than Charles Johnson or on the same levels. I don't think Charles Johnson's on the same level as anyone that's beaten Alex Perez. Is how I should word that. They're around the same age. 5.5 inch reach advantage, 3 inch height disadvantage for Alex. I think Alex is a crafty vet. I think he's going to find a way to beat Charles Johnson. I don't think Charles Johnson has anything for him that he hasn't faced. So I'm going to go Alex Perez via decision. A lot of these fights are going to be decisions. Except for this one. Nikita Krylov has lost his last 2 fights via first round KO. I'm going to take Modestas Bukauskas to win via first round KO. Actually, I'll give him a second round KO. I think Krylov is done. His chin is gone. He's going to get KO'd by Bukauskas and cut. That's unfortunate. He's been around for a decent amount of time. I think since at least the Reebok era. But I'm going to take Krylov to lose via TKO in the second round. Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. Johnson's been around for a long time too. He's pushing 40. But Hernandez, man, he's so stiff. He's not very mobile. Just looking at the stat lineups, I think Michael Johnson is like the Kevin Holland of the lightweight division. So I think he could get, just a win. Just do something and win. This is going to be a toss-up. I do think it's going to be a decision, and I'm going to take Alexander Hernandez via unanimous decision just because he's the younger guy. He's in his prime. I think Johnson is just done. But there's nothing Hernandez can do that Johnson hasn't seen because he's fought in such great names like Gaethje and Poirier that there's nothing really Hernandez can do that can affect Johnson or kind of surprise Johnson. So I think it's just going to be a decision win for Alexander Hernandez. Ateba Gutierrez versus Andre Paliev. I'm going to go Ateba Gutierrez. He's being regarded as the middleweight Francis Ngannou. Look at this. Same height, 3 inch reach advantage, and 5 years difference in age. Look at these stat lines. 100% takedown accuracy. That could be off 1 takedown. Could be off 2. 16%. Russian with an AEV at the end of your name and you have a 16% takedown accuracy? Okay. I'm going to go at Teba Gutierrez via round 2 TKO. This fight. This is going to be a good fight. I'm really looking forward to this fight, and particularly because Umar had a very good scrap with Mario Batista. Batista dropped him, I think, in round 2 with a head kick. So that is something. Figueiredo blew out his knee in a scramble with Corey Sandhagen and just kind of has been on a buffer of win one, lose one. He's almost 40. But I want you all to pay attention to this. 3 inches in height, 1 inch in reach. Figueiredo has some of the heaviest hands in the bantamweight division. 1 inch reach advantage with a 3 inch height disadvantage is insane for the fact that Umar has no range to play. You have 1 inch more reach, you can't jab at range with a 3 inch height advantage. Figueiredo is going to put hands on you. You got dropped by a head kick, you will get hands put on your chin and you will get stung. Figueiredo will hurt Umar in this fight on the feet. Now, when it comes to the grappling, I don't know how well Figueiredo will deal with someone so pressureful as Umar. Umar was kind of going tit for tat with Merab for a little bit and kind of holding down Mario. Mario was doing good in the scrambles, and Figueiredo just tore his ACL in a scramble with Sandhagen. So I don't know. And he's not in his prime anymore. He's almost 40. Umar is in his prime. So I do see this going to a decision, but I do see it being a scrap. I see Figgy putting hands on Umar, and I do think that also depends on how well he can stay standing with Umar. Because if this fight is standing, Figgy will put hands on Umar. But Umar, I do think he edges out a decision win over Figgy, but this fight will be a scrap. This fight, or maybe not, it looks like it will be, and I hope it will be. This is going to be a very exciting fight. And I think Umar gets it done via decision, but I do think he gets hurt in this fight. And it kind of just shows to the level of his chin, he can be put out, which leads into a Talbot or an O'Malley fight. Or even a Sandhagen rematch. Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. Rose has been around for a long time. She is a vet of the women's flyweight division, or just any women's division, because I'm pretty sure she has bounced around divisions as of recent. But she has some notable wins over Wei Li and Grasso. I don't know if she's beaten Shevchenko. I want to get a check on that real quick, actually. Wei Li, she's beaten Wei Li twice. She's beaten Joanna. She beat Cortez. She beat... Where's Grasso? Didn't she just beat Grasso? Am I stupid? Miranda Maverick, Aaron Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez. I swear she fought Grasso and won. Am I tripping? I think I might be tripping. She beat Joanna. Okay, so Joanna and Wei Li. She beat Wei Li twice. She beat Joanna twice. Those are some insane names to have on your resume. And she's been at the top of the division. She's a 2-time champion with defenses. She's a vet. And look at the takedowns. Natalia Silva will not outgrapple Rose. I think Rose will kind of find a decision with 1s and 2s, low kicks. She's going to strike her way to a decision and just jab, 1-2 down the pipe, calf kick, 1-2, jab, calf kick, jab, 1-2, calf kick, 1-2, calf kick. body kick, and just get a decision win. That's how I see that. So I'm going to take Rose unanimous decision. Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. I want Arnold Allen to win. I hope he does win. But I'm going to take Gene Silva via round 2 TKO. We got a new mythical fighter. Receding hairline, Gene Silva. I think Gene Silva is going to be more hungry than he was originally. He just got KO'd by Diego Lopez in a fight that would have... If he had beat Diego Lopez, he would be fighting Volkanovski at UFC 325. We would get Gene Silva versus Volkanovski at UFC 325 if he had beaten Diego Lopez. But he didn't. He got spinning elbow KO'd and ground and pounded in the first round with 12-6s. He got a lot of damage put on him. And he did get some momentum in round 2, but he got spinning elbow TKO'd or KO'd because he got too hasty. I think he's going to come into this more patient. He's going to work in jabs. I think he's going to work more body. And then he's going to find probably a big overhand in round 2 and KO Arnold Allen. That's how I view this fight going. I'm going to take Gene Silva round 2 KO. Derek Lewis versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. When there's one man who wins when being counted out, it's Derek Lewis. And I think a lot of people are taking Waldo Cortez Acosta because not only his big win against Shimil Gaziev on short notice, but the win he had before that, and now he's going off this eye poke gimmick because he got eye poked 2 fights ago and still managed to win. And now he's taking shots at Tom, playing this character of a pirate, oh, I have one eye, and I'm still fighting because of the whole Tom situation. Derek Lewis doesn't play that shit. And I think this fight will be a back and forth scrap. And I know Derek Lewis is 40 years old, but his past few fights, he has looked very good. Especially in his Talishin Teixeira fight, he looked good. And I think Derek Lewis will get a TKO win in round 3. I think this will be rounds 1 and 2 will be a barn burner, back and forth. But round 3, Derek Lewis will get the TKO late in round 3. O'Malley versus Song Yadong. This fight will also be a very good fight. Just because Song Yadong will not be able to do to O'Malley what Merab has done. O'Malley's past 2 fights have been against a very pressure-heavy wrestler in Merab. This isn't Merab. This is more of a Cheeto matchup for him. Yadong will not be able to dominate O'Malley on the ground like Merab did. I think O'Malley's going to be a lot more comfortable in this fight, especially with his striking. I see this being as... I do think it will be a little competitive because in my analysis over the UFC, Asian descent fighters are some of the toughest fighters and the most durable fighters on the roster. They take punishment and they give it back. And I think Song Yadong will land a couple shots that might hurt O'Malley, might catch him off guard. But I think O'Malley works his jab and his low kick, his 1-2. He has a really good straight or whatever it is. His counter punching is super good. His 1-2s are super good. He has pop in his hands. Dare I say it? 6-7. I think O'Malley just kind of works his way. He kind of reintroduces everyone to the Sugar Show in this fight. Sugar Show Season 2. That's what this is. This is Sugar Show Season 2. And I think he kind of works maybe more flashy shit. Spinning back kicks to the body. Spinning kicks to the head. Question mark kicks. I don't even think he's ever thrown a question mark kick. But I think he gets more comfortable. Body teeps. I think knees to the head, like up the middle. like he did to Cheeto. I think this is just him kind of being more comfortable on the feet, striking again, kind of showing everyone who he was before he met Merab. This is kind of a comeback fight for him. I don't think Yudong will win. I don't think he'll put him out. I do think this will be a decision. I do think this will be a little scrap, maybe rounds 1 or 2. How I view this is rounds 1 is very close. Like half of round 2 is just like round 1, close, scrap. The second half of round 2 and round 3, O'Malley enters his flow, not his flow state, but he finds his flow. He kind of picks him apart, precision, combos, smooth, flow, and gets this unanimous decision win over Song Yudong. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. I got Kayla Harrison via submission. Nunes lost via submission to Pena, and MMA math does work with women's divisions. I do think Harrison will submit Amanda Nunes because Amanda Nunes has already left the UFC to come back and win just to leave again. I don't think she comes back again and wins again. I think Harrison is a lot more fresh and a lot more dominant on the ground than Pena and will submit her in round 3, ending Nunes and becoming the new women GOAT of the division. I think Nunes is done. Her era is done. Harrison will surpass her as the women's bantamweight GOAT. Gaethje versus Patty. I have a lot to say about this one. Paddy Pimblett will get caught in this fight and he will get hurt. Paddy Pimblett is not as dangerous or precise as everyone says he is. Paddy Pimblett has a submission win over Bobby Green. Paddy Pimblett could not find a finish against a 0-6 Tony Ferguson. Justin Gaethje made a prime Tony Ferguson quit. In round 5, he quit. He stopped fighting Gaethje because he could not take Gaethje's punishment. Gaethje has one of the most dangerous, most powerful uppercuts in the entire UFC, especially in lightweight. Gaethje, when his uppercut lands, it lands. Fiziev felt it. Chandler felt it. Ferguson felt it. He has one of the most dangerous leg kicks in lightweight. Khabib even said Gaethje hits like a fucking truck. Gaethje hits hard. Not as hard as maybe an Ilya, but comparative to a Poirier, a Chandler, a Ferguson, an Oliveira, an Islam. I think Gaethje hits harder than those guys. Gaethje has a punch that when it connects, it doesn't just connect and leave. His shots linger with you. When he hits you, you feel it and it lingers. The pain stays. It doesn't just kind of wear off. It lingers. And that lingering builds into more damage. And I think he will do serious damage to Paddy. I think this will be, if not a round 4 TKO, a unanimous decision win for Justin Gaethje. And a reintroduction into who Justin Gaethje really is. Sure, Paddy might be a little faster and in his prime, whereas Gaethje really isn't in his prime. But speed really means nothing because all you need is one big shot. And I know everyone's saying Scousers don't get knocked out. What happened to Darren Till? Darren Till got knocked the fuck out. And he's a Scouser. He's the original Scouser. And he got knocked the fuck out. Paddy Pimblett gets hurt. I don't think he'll get knocked out. But look what happened to Max Holloway. I think this is Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. Just at lightweight. Gaethje will find that chin. He'll either hit him with a counter hook and drop him, or he'll hit him with a mean uppercut against the cage and drop him. And then get a ground and pound TKO. Or he gets a decision just beating the fuck out of him. He's going to rip shots to the body. He's going to hit big overhands. Big clinch uppercuts like he did to Fiziev. Big leg kicks. Justin Gaethje will hurt Paddy Pimblett heavy in this fight and get a win over Paddy Pimblett, getting that interim belt. I don't know why people are saying Paddy's this guy when he's not. He has wins over Michael Chandler. Two wins in the UFC. 5 losses. He beat Dan Hooker and a losing. I think he might have been the one to start Ferguson's losing streak. Fuck, Michael Chandler finished Ferguson. Paddy Pimblett couldn't even do that. Michael Chandler did. Gaethje TKO'd Ferguson. Chandler left him out sleeping. How good is Michael Chandler comparative to Paddy Pimblett? Pimblett submitted a Bobby Green. Bobby Green is fucking ass. Bobby Green is horrible. Who has Paddy Pimblett truly beat? Gaethje, 1-1 with Dustin Poirier, KO'd Michael Chandler, hurt Habib, hurt Oliveira bad, beat Fiziev twice, beat Michael Johnson bad. Who else has he beat? He's beaten some of these guys that are hard to put away. Paddy Pimblett's beating guys that everyone's put away. He's beating guys that everyone has beat. Justin Gaethje's going through guys that are hard to finish, going through guys that are hard to hit. And I know he just got KO'd by Max Holloway bad. But that's Max Holloway, who at lightweight actually has power in his hands compared to where he didn't have much power at featherweight. Max Holloway at lightweight is so much better than Max Holloway at featherweight, and I'll stand on that. I don't think he holds a belt at lightweight, but I think compared to power and speed, maybe not speed, but power, he has a lot more power in his hands at lightweight. But I think Justin Gaethje wins this fight, and I think he wins it comfortably. People are counting him out, and I don't like it. I don't like that people are counting out Justin Gaethje. I've always been a big Justin Gaethje fan, and I think I'm going to ride with Gaethje to win this over Paddy Pimblett, and I'm going to ride with him comfortably. But yeah, that's my predictions for UFC 324. Let me know who y'all got in the comments. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. And I will come back, and if Gaethje does lose to this fight, I will take it. I will take it like a man. But I do believe he wins this, and I do believe he wins it comfortably. Let me know.